Hello, and welcome back to another video. Bit of a funny coincidence kind of story. I was going to Kelowna to see some of my family, and on the way back from Kelowna, I went to go see another family member who I've actually not met recently. I met them when I was like 2 or 3, but nothing recently. We kind of sat down for about an hour talking, and they mentioned that they had an iMac. So that kind of perked my ears because, you know, I love technology and I love talking about this stuff. So they said that they had an iMac. However, they said that the iMac wasn't working. And they got Best Buy Geek Squad to look at it, which Geek Squad can be iffy. Sometimes they know what they're talking about, sometimes they don't know what they're talking about, especially when it comes to specialty items like Macs, both iMacs, Mac Minis, as well as MacBook Pros. Just kind of, or any MacBook in general, it can be a little bit iffy depending on the technician. After hearing that, I was a little bit skeptical as to whether they actually were like, if they actually found something wrong with this, if there was something wrong with this, or it's just getting to be obsolete and old and slow. And at this point, I hadn't seen what the iMac looked like. I just heard that it was an old iMac that wasn't running. So they said that the Geek Squad was going to acid wash it and completely destroy it. So I was like, well, could I possibly have it? And they're like, yeah, sure. You can completely take this. You can have the iMac and everything that goes along with it. It's all yours if you want it. So I'm like, sweet. So I took it. And I have it with me. And when I looked at it, and I grabbed it from their computer room that they had and disconnected all the stuff. So I don't know where that power cable went that I had. So I take a look at it, and because of the form factor of it, that means that it is a 2012 to current non-Apple Silicon iMac, which is curious because they said that it completely wasn't working and it whatnot. So it's not actually that old. And I haven't looked at the serial number, I haven't looked at the serial number to see what it could be because I wanted to keep it for the video. So as you can see over here, this is the iMac that I'm talking about. This is a 21.5-inch iMac, and it's kind of dirty. It's gross, actually. The iMac itself is fun. The display just needs a little wipe down. It's a little bit dusty on the outside, but the keyboard, on the other hand, and the mouse, they're atrocious. Let me show you a little bit here. So I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but as you can see, there is grime and nastiness on the keys of this keyboard. And we don't want that. We want nice, white, new-looking keyboard. That's kind of nasty. Now, if we look a little bit at the mouse here, you can see that it looks like there's kind of just junk and crap stuck on it, right? Just like stuff you don't want on a mouse. Like it, I know you guys can't feel it, but if you've ever used a Magic Mouse, you would know that it feels smooth. It feels like either a very, very polished plastic or almost a glass kind of feel to it. This one, I'm going to wash my hands after touching this because I don't know what this is, but it feels like a matte texture. And in some points there's, ew, right there. Some places it's actually bumpy, which is nasty. And bleh. And the first step to any repair I ever do is cleaning. So I'll be cleaning the keyboard, which is very tedious. At least with the mouse you can use a microfiber cloth and just wipe it down a little bit easier. But with the iMac, it should be super simple, at least externally. If I have to actually go internal on the iMac, that'll be a separate video because I don't have some of the things that I would need for that. Because with this model, unlike the unibody style of the iMac, unlike that where it's a magnetic glass piece where you just take that off and you have access to everything else, the display on here is actually adhered to the aluminum case, which makes it better for dust and waterproof. Not that you would need your iMac to be waterproof, but just humidity and whatnot. It does make it better for that. It does allow it to be slimmer because you're not trying to shove magnets into it. It does make it more annoying and more expensive to get into it. So if I need to go into the iMac, I'd have to pick up some adhesive strips as well as a little plastic cutter to get underneath the display and in between the aluminum, so I don't wreck the aluminum, I don't wreck the glass on it, but I can still cut through the adhesive. So that's kind of where I am with that. So without further ado, let's get into the next portion of this video, which is the cleaning. Okay. Well, I just got back from work and I should probably shower before moving on with this video because I feel gross because I work in the deli. So let's change that. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay, well, as you may be able to see, this is a lot more clean than it was before. The keyboard is now actually white instead of a browny yellow color. The mouse is now a glass texture as opposed to a rough matte texture. And the iMac itself, both the glass screen portion as well as the aluminum body, is free of dust, smudges, and various other things. I don't really know if this thing works. I haven't even powered it on. I didn't power it on from the place that I got it from. I didn't power on when I got home. I haven't looked up the serial number. I don't know what year it is. But we're gonna figure that out. Let me just grab the power cord and we can plug it in. Oh gosh, now I gotta find the power cord without moving the chair. Okay, so as you may be able to see, there is a cable now running to this iMac that's plugged in. And yes, I took the batteries out of the keyboard and the mouse. These aren't actually going to be able to connect to the iMac. I just want to know if this thing turns on. So for the first time since I've had this in my possession, let's see if this iMac powers on and gives us any signs of life. So I don't have any hope in this, so I'm keeping my hopes not high. I don't know how you would say that, but that's good news. Kind of. There's a backlight. And right now we just have the backlight and nothing being displayed. Okay, flashing folder. So that means there's no operating system installed. I don't know if I have a macOS bootable USB, but what is this, High Sierra? Yeah, I have a High Sierra macOS installer. This iMac is obviously too new. I mean, it'll run High Sierra, but it doesn't ship with High Sierra, so we could plug this in, install it, or we could do an internet recovery for it. That will be another section of the video because I am tired from today's day of work and whatnot, and my feet hurt, so I'm not going to do that tonight because I want some downtime to myself a little bit. But this is good news. This is a good sign. It means there's somewhere to go from here. We just need to install an operating system. Let's either get into the next video or the next section of this video, depending on how long this is at this point. But if it's in the next video, like, subscribe, comment down below what year you think this iMac is from, and if you think that we can actually get this thing working. And if you've seen part 2 or the next section of this video, don't spoil it for others, because there may be people seeing this who don't know the end. Hope to see you in the next section. I'll see you later. Yep.
Is Jackson home?
Nope. I don't know where he is.